As the engine of my car rumbled to a halt, I sighed with frustration. The gas gauge needle pointed precariously close to empty. It was late at night, and the dense fog that hung in the air only added to the eerie atmosphere surrounding the desolate stretch of road. The only sign of life was a flickering neon sign ahead, declaring the presence of a gas station. Reluctantly, I stepped out of my vehicle and made my way towards the building. The building itself was weathered and worn, its windows smudged with grime. A sense of unease crept up my spine as I entered the gas station, the creaking door echoing through the silent night. The interior was dimly lit, the flickering fluorescent lights casting eerie shadows on the cracked linoleum floor. The air smelled stale and musty, as if it hadn't been disturbed for ages. Behind the counter stood an elderly man, his eyes glazed over and a permanent scowl etched on his face. His name tag read Walter, but he didn't acknowledge my presence as I approached. "Excuse me, sir," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "I need to fill up my tank." Walter's eyes slowly focused on me, as if snapping out of a trance. His voice was raspy, barely a whisper. "Pumps out back," he muttered, gesturing towards a dimly lit area beyond the store. Reluctantly, I made my way outside, feeling the weight of the night pressing down on me. The fog had thickened, making it difficult to see more than a few feet ahead. As I approached the gas pumps, I noticed a flickering light in the distance, nestled among the dense fog. It was a lone lamppost, its pale glow casting an eerie halo around it. As I began to pump gas into my car, a feeling of being watched washed over me. I glanced around nervously, but the fog obscured any signs of movement. The hairs on the back of my neck stood on end as a cold breeze whispered through the night, carrying with it an otherworldly chill. Just as I finished filling up my tank, a figure emerged from the fog. It was a woman, her face obscured by long, tangled hair that hung limply over her eyes. She wore a tattered dress, stained and torn, as if pulled from the depths of a forgotten nightmare. I froze, unable to tear my eyes away from her haunting presence. The woman's lips curled into a malicious smile, revealing rows of yellowed, decaying teeth. Without warning, she lunged towards me, her hands reaching out as if to drag me into the depths of darkness. Instinct kicked in, and I sprinted back towards the gas station, heart pounding in my chest. The heavy wooden door slammed shut behind me, but I could hear the woman's nails scratching against it, her guttural laughter piercing through the air. Walter, still behind the counter, turned to face me, his eyes filled with a grim understanding. "She's always here," he whispered. "A restless spirit, trapped in this forsaken place." I pleaded with Walter to help me, to protect me from whatever horror lurked outside those doors. But his gaze remained vacant, as if he had resigned himself to the fate that awaited me. Trembling, I grabbed my car keys and bolted towards the exit. The moment I stepped outside, the woman was there, her ghastly form inches away from mine. Her voice echoed in my ears, a haunting lullaby of despair. I fumbled with the car door, desperately trying to unlock it. With a final click, I leaped into the safety of the driver's seat, my heart racing. As I sped away, the gas station faded into the distance, but the memory of that night's horror remained etched in my mind forever. To this day, I can't pass a gas station without feeling a shiver run down my spine. I often wonder how many lost souls like the woman and Walter are trapped within those lonely stations, waiting to prey upon unsuspecting travelers who dare to venture into their realm of darkness.